Good afternoon and welcome to the Inspiring Inking YouTube channel and the Inspiring Inking Facebook page. I'm Amanda Fowler and it's Tuesday the 11th of July 2023. Thank you so much. If you are joining me live, please give me a sound and light check. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for taking the time out of your day to do that. Do comment. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. Do comment. I do read and respond to them. So thank you so much for doing that. That's going to teach me for having fizzy water. I thought it's quite warm today, although it's cloudy, and I thought, well, I'll just bring a cold drink upstairs, but it's not pop. For those of you in the UK, it's not pop, it's not fizzy pop, it's fizzy water. For my rest of the world people, it's not soda, but it's fizzy, so it's giving me hiccups. It's not good. It's not good to start with. So how are we today? How has your week been? Has it only been a week? It's been a kind of a funny kind of week, really. We actually spent most of our weekend, or most of Sunday, repairing Brian's computer, which was one of my older computers. And, you know, thank goodness for Apple support. I learned how to do all kinds of things between us. We did all kinds of things we've never had to do before, but it's now working. So, but it just seemed to take hours and hours from the weekend. Hi, Karen. Thank you very much for joining us today. So in today's chat, where would you recommend somebody goes for like a 4 or 5 day break in the UK? Asking for a friend. Asking for me as well. But also asking for a friend. Where would you recommend going? So holidays in the UK, where are the best places to go? And it can be, you know, kind of any kind of activities or any kind of places. Let me know where your favorite places are. Oh, that's good. Right, Scylla's here. She's saying hello to me and to all the card makers and crafters. Jan's saying hello to me and her crafty friends. Margaret in France. Apparently it's exceedingly hot. So a quiet hour with me. It's never really quiet with me, Margaret, now, is it? Let's just be serious about that. But, you know, I have got some crafting, so that's good. And Joanne's here. Hello, hello. And Pauline's here, or Mum, as I call her. Oh, Karen's saying the Lake District or Devon. So if you've just joined us, holidays in the UK, a 4 or 5 day break, where would you recommend? So areas are great, like Karen suggested, the Lake District or Devon. Towns or cities is better because, you know, that kind of narrows it down a bit. Donna, hello. Oz is in the house. Is it getting cold with you now, Donna? Because are you in winter yet or heading towards winter? Liz, I think I can translate that. She's saying hello from Guatemala. Did I get that right, Liz? Hopefully I did. Thank you for joining us today. Right, Brockenhurst and the surrounding area in the New Forest, says Jan. That's good. That's not far from us, actually. It is a very beautiful place. Okay, so do tell me all your recommendations for UK holidays. So that's the first thing. there isn't really any Stampin' Up updates today to let you know about. If you're in the UK, I am running my bog off sale. There are still several hundred stamps left. But it's really interesting because as the bog off stuff goes, it's really interesting as to see which ones come up again and again. People are looking for particular stamp sets, so that's interesting. But there is still plenty of bog off items for those of you in the UK. I'm really sorry, my international friends, I cannot ship overseas. So yeah, so it's only for my UK people. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you're not on my mailing list. So in order to get on my mailing list, you need to pop over to inspiringinking.com and just sign up for my email list, and then I will make sure that you get that information. Or if you want to, you can send me an email directly, amanda@inspiringinking.com, and I'll be able to send that straight to you. Okay. Hi, Anne. Anne's recommending Northumberland or Penrith area of the Lake District, her favourite places. Deborah's here from Calgary in Alberta. Donna's saying winter is here in Oz. We've had a lot of 0 degrees and a few minuses as well. And the snow season is going well up into the snowy mountains. That's cool. Keswick and surrounding area in the Lake District is beautiful. That's Margaret's recommendation. So, as I was saying, Stampin' Up updates, there aren't really many. Not only is my bog off sale going on, but Stampin' Up are also giving you a 45, start again. If you spend £45, you get a £4.50 voucher to spend in August. So that's a good old voucher to have. So make sure when you're shopping, it's in multiples of 45. Don't place an order for £89. It's not good. You need to, it needs to be 90 or 91. Hello, Michele. Michelle's here. In actual fact, we're making Michelle's card today, and she's here. So Michele sent me a lovely card, and I didn't dismantle it. I did think about dismantling it, but I didn't need to. I didn't dismantle it, but I have measured it, so I know how to make it. So we're going to make Michelle's card today. So yeah, so that's kind of it as far as Stampin' Up is concerned. I have loads and loads of cards to show you today. So some of them are from my birthday, they're get well cards, they're sympathy cards, all kinds of cards. And I've got them in a nice tin. So, oh, it's upside down. So this tin obviously came from Las Vegas. It came from one of my demonstrator friends, Scott. He and his wife were on the incentive trip, and I'd been chatting to him about all sorts of different UK places to visit and transport links and various other things. And he was really kind and bought me some amazing chocolates in that tin. The chocolates did not last, but the tin has. So there you go. So let me show you. Look, can you see? It's overflowing. The tin is overflowing. And can I just say, if you've sent me a card and it's not a handmade card, please know I really, really, really do appreciate all the cards. But because obviously this is a crafting channel, I'm going to show the crafting cards. So just so So you know that. Hi, Jenny. Jenny's from Melbourne in Australia. So we've got lots of Aussies in the house today. Hi, Ali. How are you doing? How's your world? And if you missed my hiccups at the beginning, I've got fizzy water today. My cough is still lingering from COVID. And when I talk for any length of time, my throat gets really dry. So I have to keep drinking. But of course, it's giving me hiccups. Jennifer now has a puppy. How cool is that? I want a puppy. It's on the list. Right. So let me show you. This is from Deborah. So this is the lovely brick embossing folder. And she's coloured it and stamped on it. So she will have stamped this first. That's Dainty Delight, I think. She'll have stamped that first. This one is from Sarah. It's a lovely crafting set. This one's from the lovely Jan. Thank you, Jan. This paper, I noticed, was in the clearance rack the other day. So if you are loving it still, you can still get it. This one is from Katie. Lovely little stamped images there. This is from Karen. Lovely bit of blending going on there. Love that. Jennifer's puppy is a cavoodle. So is that a Cavalier King Charles and a poodle, perhaps? Miniature? Big one? Little one? He's called Finn. This one is from Mel. Right, this is going to be hard for the camera to pick up. So it's the lovely Daisy die cuts, and then the background. The background is, I want to say textured type. Is it timeless type? Textured type? The embossing folder. This one is from Sally. Let me bring that in and then see if, there we go. That's better. It's better to have him focus. And that's just, it's white on white. And I think that's just a really nice thing to do. And, you know, one of the many reasons that I show the cards is because it gives us all so much inspiration. So this one, this one's funny. So this is a card I made. And Brian, when we were on the cruise ship, completely unbeknown to me, so clearly I was off busy doing something. I was clearly chatting to somebody. He was giving out my cards to other people to get them to sign. So I've got lots of my cards with lots of people from the ships and from Stampin' Up that have signed it, which is just really lovely. Oh, let's have a look. This one's from Karen as well. This is a happy birthday card. How cool are those turtles? Thank you, Karen. Hi, Janet. Oh, Jennifer, my father-in-law, my husband's father, passed away, sadly. Oh, look, another one from Karen. Thanks, Karen. I love this, look. Very cool. This one is from Leslie. And this is, so can you see that sentiment there? It's on acetate, so it kind of looks like it's just floating in midair. Oh, hang on, let me do that. There. That's really cool. And then this flap comes up as well, look. So it makes like a whole card. This one is from Margaret. Margaret's here as well. Let me just fluff up the wings on the butterfly. When they come in the post, they end up squished a little bit. But look, so she's coloured the butterfly's wings, but look, she's done stenciling through. It's very cool. White cards, really, the camera just really struggles with them. I've got so many to show you. This is from Chris. Really lovely. Love a bit of gingham. And nice here with the gems to make a flower. This one's from Sandra. That was one of my favourite stamp sets, that dandelion. That one's from Kim. That's one of the kits. She loves our kits. I always buy them for her Christmas and birthday. And, you know, she's in her, I don't know, do we call it mid to late 20s, I guess? And she just loves a kit because everything's in it and it's kind of contained. She doesn't want a big craft room. So yeah, so she likes kits. So if you've got somebody in that kind of age range, kits are perfect. Sue, lovely picture from Sue. Lovely picture, lovely card. Love those swooshes. I've got a new stamp set coming, actually, with some swooshes and some flowers, which I'm very excited about. That one's from Jenny. That's another one of mine. It just made me chuckle. Oh, this one's from Michelle. This one's Michelle. This one's got squished, Michelle. It got squished in the tin. It's a fun fold, and it's kind of got, it's all different bits. It's really cool. It stands up and it's very funky. Thank you, Michelle. That one is from Mum. Mum and Dad, thank you very much. A few more to go. Oh, so that one's from Scott. Love that. Now, these are the papers. These are the in colour papers. And they're all the patterns that you get. So that's very cool. That's from a different Scott. This one's from Jackie. I love the happy birthday stamped over the patterned paper there. Oh, this one is from Tessa and Pat. So it's a lovely designer paper, and she's just cut it and just left a little gap. Makes it look like tiles. Really cool. There's another card from Margaret. Thank you, Margaret. The patience of colouring all of those individual elements in. This one is from the lovely Roz. This is another one of my cards that's full of other people's signatures. This one is one from Jan. Thank you very much, Jan. This is from the lovely Lynn up in Scotland. This is from my husband. It's actually one of my cards that he's stolen from my stash. Normally he makes his own, but he obviously didn't. And then this one is from the lovely Sue. And then this one is from Katie. So that's the last one. Blimey, that was a mountain of cards. Thank you so much. They will live in the tin and be safe and sound. Oh, right. So, if you weren't here at the beginning, I was asking for recommendations for UK holidays, towns and cities for preference, sort of 4 to 5 days in September time. I didn't say that to begin with. It doesn't matter really. But yeah, just share your favorite places. Firstly, it's because we all love to go to different places, don't we? But I've got a friend who's going away and I want to go away as well. So the more information, the better. Thanks, Jennifer. Sleep well. Hi, Janet. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so let me show you the card we're going to make. Hello, Lorraine. It's okay. She's saying she's late. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just really grateful that you all tune in. I was talking about this a few days ago and saying, you know, we started this over three and a chunk years ago. And when you think of how far we've come together, you know, think of, do you remember? So I'm going to put my hands on my head here. Do you remember all the traumas that I had with all of my phone overheating and the sound going crazy? And I don't know actually why I'm saying this, because you know I'm going to jinx it now, don't you? But all of the things that we've gone through over the past 3 years. But you know, we've built a community here and I am so proud of it. And I love coming here on a Tuesday and chatting. And I love to see Brian's face when he said, so what did you chat to the crafters about today? And I said, a couple of weeks ago? Oh yeah, we talked about bedding and candlewick bedspreads. And you know, you can just see his little face going, what? But, you know, we talk about what we talk about, don't we? So I love it. And I just want to say, I so appreciate all of you. I appreciate you tuning in on a Tuesday afternoon or watching me on the replay, because I appreciate not everybody's free on a Tuesday afternoon. Or catching up on YouTube or however you kind of watch these. And I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. So in the comments, that's where I want you to do your little typing. I want you to please share with us. Oh dear. Share with us places to go in the UK for like a 4 or 5 day holiday, preferably towns and cities or particular landmarks to go and see in the UK. That would be really cool as well. Donna's saying the technology, but I persevered and got through it. Look how much I've learned. Yeah, Donna. We've learned a lot. I know more about technology and filming and microphones and lights and cameras and stuff than I ever thought I would need to know. But I have to say, I have to put my hand up and say thank you so much to all of the other demonstrators who helped me with the technology. I used to send off messages going, I can't get this to work. Can somebody help me with this? Or support desks, and all the wonderful messages I was getting from you guys going, it's okay. Try again tomorrow. Oh dear. It was fun. Fun times. Oh. Ali, I wish there was another reason other than cancer that you could join in with us. But I'm truly grateful that you do. And I hope the radiotherapy goes well over the coming weeks. And I hope you're actually getting some time to do some crafting. So let me show you Michelle's card. So this is the card. Da, da, da. Ooh, there we go. So it's using the blue papers, and this is this punch, which I think is called the decorative circle. But I'll check. Because you know I always say the names wrong, don't you? I was right. It's the decorative circle. And the inside, this is the cool bit. Look, can you see? So it is like a tunnel inside there. So there's this piece, and it opens up like that, and it's got like a peekaboo window in here. So that's a hole. I don't know whether you can see that. I'm going to show you how to make it. So what I'm going to do is make it. I'm actually going to make it slightly taller, and use some different papers. But I'm going to use the same stamps because I thought that'd be a good plan. So there you go. Pembrokeshire coast, says Lorraine. Okay, so let me switch this around. Turn the camera around and throw everything on the floor, because of course that's really sensible. Oh dear. So I told you I was going to jinx it, didn't I, about the technology. So I have a screen, and the screen sits about here where my hands are when I've got the face-to-face camera, because that's where my camera is. And then when I do hands down, I push the screen backwards, and I put my pen pot just here, and it's now fallen all over the floor. And I need the stuff that is in the pen pot, obviously, because it had my bone folder in it and my scissors. Because what else would you keep in a pen pot? Caroline saying it was a crafty lunch. Oh, Caroline, I love that. Yes. And I think a crafty lunch is also when you're piling all your stuff up on your desk because you're too busy crafting, you haven't got time to put it away, and then it all slides off the desk. Yes. So Deborah's saying all the cards I showed were lovely, and this fun fold peekaboo is adorable. I love it too. So Doris is here, Wisconsin, 73 degrees. I can't figure that one out, Doris. but that's not too hot, I don't think. So I'm hoping that that's a nice, comfortable temperature. And Janet's saying I've jinxed it. I know, every time. So I gathered my stuff. So I got that punch and the flower punch that goes with the stamp set that I've just gone, did I bring up the stamp set? So the stamp set's Petal Park. Now, Michele has put a sentiment in here. I'm not going to put a sentiment on mine, basically because I didn't bring one upstairs. But that's okay. It's okay. I am going to put a sentiment on it later. When you see the... my words, what are my words doing today? When you see the card on my blog in a couple of days, it'll have sentiment in it as well. So Caroline's saying she keeps her scissors in a pot with her pens and things. Yeah, so in my pen pot, there are no pens. It's just my bone folder and my scissors and an extra scoring tool and various other bits and pieces, but no pens. So the paper that I'm using, we've used this. I've used this with you a couple of times. This is called the Masterfully Made. And I adore it. I'm just going to quickly show you it. It looks like you've collaged all of that paper and you've been really clever and torn it. But it's flat. Ooh, pretty. Pretty. Love that because that's teals. Ooh. I thought I'd decided what I was going to use, but now I've seen this paper and I'm going to use this paper. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay. I'm putting that to one side because we're going to use that one. And that one. And then I think the rest are duplicates. Oh my word. It's a good job. I bought 4 different colours of cardstock upstairs, isn't it? Because you know me, I start out with a plan and then go, oh no, we could do it that way. So I bought upstairs some white and Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock and Berry Burst. And it was Berry Burst I was going to use. But oh no, I'm going to use Night of Navy now. Maybe actually with a Berry Burst layer. That's going to look really cool. Okay. Oh, this paper is amazing. Obviously, we're only going to use a little bit of it. So that's really good. Right. So Doris is saying it's 22.7 Celsius. For those of us working in Celsius, 73 degrees. So that's quite nice, Doris, isn't it? That's kind of nice temperature. And I think, to be honest, that's what the temperature is here. But it's grey and cloudy and, yeah, a bit mizzygog, to be honest. Right. So let me show you Michele's card again. So let me show you the dynamics of it. So you've got a card front and a card back. But the back has got a score line with a fold. And then comes this way and then's got another score line. So let me just check. You know how sometimes you make something and you think, is that the same? Is that the same? It's the same. We're all good. Okay. So here are the measurements. So Michele's is actually 5.5 tall. I've actually made mine 5 3/4 tall. You can't actually make it wider with standard cardstock. because it needs to be 10.5. So if you're going to make it any wider, you'd need 12 by 12 cardstock. So that's why the measurements are the size they are, but they'll fit in a standard envelope. For my North American friends who have card blanks that are 5.5 tall, just make it 5.5. Okay. So let me just open that out so you can see, because I'll make this into a template. So we're going to have Night of Navy base. And I'm going to try and find my trimmer. So it is 10.5. 10.5 by 5 3/4. And then we are going to score it. So the score lines are here. So the first score line is 3.5. Make sure to move your cutting blade out of the way. 3.5. Ooh, 6.5. 7 and 10. Okay. So 3.5, 6.5, 7 and 10. So it's a moving card, so we need to reinforce all those score lines. And I would say fold it one way and then fold it back. And I get, honestly, one of the most requested, well, one of the most often asked questions is, Amanda, why do you insist on going over all the score lines with your bone folder? And the reason is because it makes a really professional finish to your card. Basically, when you score it, you're kind of telling the card what you want it to do. But when you use your bone folder, you're really reinforcing that and making sure it's a crisp, clean line. And it's really, it really helps the card itself fold the way it should do. Okay. So you've got your score lines, and the first section, this section here, is going to be your front. And then these two sections with the two pieces of scored are going to make your little box section. So it's this piece here that you're going to make your peekaboo window. So if you've got shaped dies and things, you could use those. But you know me, I love a punch. Punches are awesome. And the beauty of this measurement is the two edges of the punch pretty much line up with those score lines. So if you push the card in as far as it will go, you will end up with your peekaboo hole. And then you can see that that is how that's going to go, like that, which is exactly how Michelle's has gone there. Okay, so that's your template. So I'm just going to do exactly the same here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a piece out of there, but I'm also, I might use a piece of patterned paper as well. We'll see. We'll see. But the way to get this positioned correctly, so it's in the right place, is to line that up and then line that up and just drop it through. Okay, so it's in the right place. So if you just grab your Tombow, give it a little squiggle, and then you pop it down. You can lift it up a little bit more and put a bit more glue on if you want to. There we go. So then it's in the right place. Okay, then to make the mechanism itself, you are just going to glue this section down. So you've got the front, the middle with the score line, your punched out piece, and then you've got this score line. So we know this is the inside. So you want to fold that score line over. If you've got tape, use tape. I don't have tape today, so I'm going to use my Tombow, but you need to use a strong glue. A glue runner is not going to be strong enough. So you've got the glue in the right place. To make sure it sticks in the right place, you want to line up this edge with your very first score line. And then this whole thing here will be flat. And that will meet that score line. So keep that all flat and then bring that over the top, squash it down. And your whole card is flat. Because obviously you want it to be flat so it can go in the post. And then when you pop it up, look, like that, it makes... Why did I choose Night of Navy? Apart from the fact that it's blue, it does that. So hang on. I'm just going to do it on the green one because that will help your world to see it. Amanda and her blue. There we go. Right. So fold it down so you can see that score line there. So you're folding this whole thing down. Bring that over the top and squish it down. And then when you lift it up, it's going to make your box. Super quick, super easy. So now all you've got to do is decorate it. So as I said earlier, I'm going to use this patterned paper since I've just discovered it. So the patterned paper is going to be 3 inches by 5 1/4. And that's nice because you've got a nice amount of flowers down there. And then the card is 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's your 2 layers. And then that's going to go on the front of the card. Like so. Now, you could put a layer on the inside of here, which I think I might do, actually. What did I just do with that extra bit? So let's just measure that. So that'll be 2 3/4. by 5.5, just because it's pretty. Look, that's nice. Okay, so that's pretty on the front. Now what I'll do on the front, this is you see on Michele, she's decorated it with the punch and the flowers. I'm actually going to put a sentiment on here, and then we're going to have somewhere to write here, I think. So let's make a little layer in there. So that is, oh, where's my trimmer gone? So 2 3/4. Yeah. And by 2 3/4. Ooh. Let's have a look. And then we'll put a little white layer on. And that'll be 2.5 square. And then we'll get some flowers and do some punching. So I'm going to put that on there like that. So I've got somewhere to write here. And then we're going to get some flowers on there. So let's play with the stamps. I've got lots of acrylic blocks here today. So bought the berry burst. So when you're stamping flowers like this and you want to punch them out, turn your punch over so you can see how the punch aligns. So the little flower is basically at 12 o'clock. So when you put your stamp on your block, do the same, because then you're going to stamp it in the right orientation for the punch. So I'm going to stamp some flowers in berry burst. And then I'm going to infill them with berry burst, but I'm going to stamp it off. So I've inked it up, stamp it off, line it up, stamp over the top. Can you see that gives a lovely tonal effect? Obviously, you could use a different pink shade or a contrasting shade or something like that. That's up to you. And equally, if I was being sensible, I could have stamped a couple of flowers here, like that, as my stamped off images, because then I've got different colours of tones of flowers. But I stamped on my grid paper instead. So let's just see. Let's punch these out. So can you see how that easily aligns? I don't have to do the crazy tilting of my cardstock, using a post-it note, faffing about to get my flowers. I don't mind a bit of faffing. Sometimes being creative means you have to faff. But if there's a quick and easy way to do it, sign me up. Okay, right. And I always punch too many flowers. No such thing as too many flowers. I'm going to use my ball tool and my stamping mat, and I'm just going to use the fat end just to kind of squish my flowers up a bit. If you press in the center, it just gives them a little bit of shape. And I appreciate that the flowers that are going inside the little punched out piece will get squished anyway. But we're just going to give them all a little bit of movement. I mean, I'm just pressing down with the ball tool. You can kind of go round and round in circles, and you can kind of, you know, curve it. And those of you that do all kinds of fancy things like pergamano or that kind of vellum work and stuff, you'll know all about shaping your flowers. But it's a quick way of giving them a bit of dimension. Okay, so what did Michele do? She had 3 flowers on the inside, and then she used some of the smaller flowers. So I'm actually going to just, this time, I'm going to layer, 3 flowers on the inside. I'm going to use glue dots for this because I want it to grab straight away. I don't want them to be moving about. So let's pop that one. And that one. And I'm just kind of overlapping them because they look like it's a flower bushel kind of coming out. Then I'm going to add, just stick this together and pop this on. Ooh. The joy of Tombow, everyone. Look, stuck it down and it's all on a wonk. Let's try that again. Although it's quite warm, so it is sticking. There we go. And pop that there. And then how about a couple of flowers there as well? Just make sure that your flowers aren't going over the edge of the card or here, that they're not going to get bumped when that folds over. So you just want to make sure, look, can you see that's sticking out? You don't want that. So move it in a bit. Let's try that. Yay. Okay, so look at all those flowers I've got for later. So here we go. We are all done. That was a quick card, wasn't it? So let me just move all of this rubbish out of the way and show you. So here's Michelle's original. So she's decorated the front. I've used a different paper and I'm going to put a sentiment on the front here. So you need to check over on my blog for the finished card. And then on the inside, I've put some more patterned paper and some of the flowers on the inside. And Michelle's decorated the aperture here and the flowers and the sentiment, and she's written on the back. So I hope you have enjoyed that card. Thank you again to Michele. Thank you. Michelle's saying thank you. No, thank you. It's a really cool card. So let me just run over the measurements just in case you missed them earlier. So I'll just pop those there and just show you. So your card base is 10.5 by 5 3/4, and you're going to score it at 3.5, 6.5, 7, and 10. And then you're going to punch. If you want to have your peekaboo somewhere else, you'll need to use a die, but that's easy. Just fold it out and use that too. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Caroline and Ali and Jan and Rain and Donna. I will see you all back here next week. Thank you, Scylla. I'll see you all back here next week. Keep the suggestions coming in the comments about places to go for a 4 or 5 day break in the UK. We love to hear everyone's suggestions. And this community we've built is a great source of inspiration. So I'm hoping for lots of recommendations. Thank you so much. I will see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.